Hi, amazing artists. Today we're going to be doing a little Cinco de Mayo project, and we're going to make these really cool Fiesta flowers. They're made from tissue paper. They're really easy to make. They'd also make a great Mother's Day gift if you don't have a way to get to the store to get some real flowers. You can always make these. I just got some packs of tissue paper like this from the dollar store. These are actually $1 each, and you get 4 different colors. They have other ones that are solid colors or 2 colors, but these are great because you can mix and match and get these really colorful combinations. So here we go. I'm going to show you what to do. I've got 3 colors here. I've got 2 sheets of yellow. Let me turn them. 2 sheets of yellow, I've got 2 sheets of green. I'm gonna try 3 colors in this one, and I've got 3 sheets of blue tissue paper. And what I'm gonna do, it depends on how big you want your flower, how wide and how long you cut it. So I want this one to be kind of a medium flower. So I'm gonna cut it about right here, which is about 5 or 6 inches wide. And then I'm gonna go down the whole length of the tissue paper all the way to the end. So now I have 2 sections of tissue paper. I could use this for a little bit smaller flower, and then I have the one that I cut. It's gonna make a little bit bigger flower, this one, okay? So it is, actually let me get my ruler. It is about 6.5, 7 inches, okay? But you can go smaller, you can go larger. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a fold in my paper like this and crease it. Then I'm gonna flip my paper over and make the same fold going the opposite direction. So I'm just gonna, this is an accordion fold, like if you're making a fan. I'm just gonna accordion fold all the way to the end. And I'm gonna try to keep my paper kind of straight, but if it gets off a little bit, that's also okay. These flowers are very forgiving because once you puff them out, you're not gonna see anything that you might think is a mistake in your folding or cutting. Okay, so I keep going, I keep making this accordion fold all the way to the end of the paper. Once I get to the end, I have a couple choices I can make. I can trim off, I can leave my paper straight on the end here, or I can cut on either end. I can round it, or I can cut it like this and make it like a triangle. This is the effect you're gonna get if you cut it like a triangle. You're gonna get little pointy petals. This flower, I didn't do anything. I just left it straight, okay? And this flower, I rounded it. So you get a little bit different look, a little bit more of a rounded petal when you fluff it out. So I think I'm gonna do this one rounded. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take my scissors and just at the very end, I'm just gonna kind of round off those edges, kind of like I'm making a rainbow, okay? And then I'm gonna do that on the other end. Just round off those edges like that, okay? And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Once you fluff it all out, you're not gonna be able to tell if you made a mistake or not, okay? So now I have my edges cut on either end, and now I've got to make the middle of my flower. I'm gonna fold this in half and crease it. Now this paper is really thick. I need to cut a little bit here and a little bit here, but this paper is really thick. So if your paper's not too thick, you can cut it like this. If it is too thick, just open it back up, and I see my crease here, and I am just going to cut a little triangle into that line like this. There's one side of my triangle. There's the other side. So I'm just cutting a little triangle out. You can see that, okay? Now you have to be really careful because you need to leave some paper in the middle, otherwise your two halves will just fall apart. So now I'm going to cut a little triangle on this side, okay? And again, being very careful not to meet in the middle and cut my papers apart, my sides apart. So I'm going to do my little triangle here. Okay, I've got that one cut. I'm going to pull those little pieces out. I don't think I cut this part very well. And this takes a little practice. If you know, you might cut one or two of them in half by accident, and then you'll start to get it. Okay, so now I have my two little triangles cut out, so I have a little thin piece here in the middle. I've got all my messy paper. I'm gonna scooch that out of the way. All right, now you've got to tie your flower together. I'm gonna use some ribbon. You can use string, you can use ribbon, you can use wire, you can use pipe cleaners. I like to use the ribbon because then when you're done, you can see, here's my ribbon, and then I can either hang these from something with the ribbon, or I can tie this ribbon onto a pencil. I can tie it onto a barbecue skewer and make a flower. I can tie it onto a straw to give the flower a stem. So I really like to have the ribbon to tie, but you can do the same thing with wire or pipe cleaner. All right, so now you're just gonna tie a square knot. So you're gonna go left over right, like you're tying your shoe. Pull it tight. Don't pull it too tight. You don't wanna break your ribbon. And then you're gonna go right over left, like you're tying your shoe. Pull it tight. Okay, so now I have my center tied tight, and I've got to decide, do I want the blue to be the middle, or do I want the yellow to be the middle? And I think I want the yellow. I'm going to kind of pull these down. I think I want the yellow to be the middle. So I'm going to put my yellow facing up. I'm going to kind of pull these out, kind of stretch them out like this, okay? And now it's time to fluff, okay? And this part's really easy. You just don't want to pull too hard because you don't want to tear your paper. So you just want to go find each sheet of paper. Make sure you've only got one sheet. And you're just going to fluff, kind of pull these up. Like I said, don't pull too hard. If you pull too hard, it's tissue paper and it's going to rip. So you just pull that up to the middle. Okay, whoops, see, I just ripped it. All right. Now I'm gonna take my second layer. It helps if you lick your fingers and then you can pick that paper up sometimes. So here's my second layer. I'm gonna fluff this layer out. Now you can see I have my green layer underneath, okay? All right, and I'm just gonna keep fluffing. I'll speed the video up and then you can see how it looks in the end. Oh, see, I ripped that. You gotta be really careful. And if you rip it here and there, it's okay. All right, here we go. I'm gonna speed up and I'll show you how it looks at the end. So you can see here, I took some just little barbecue skewers that I have to use on my grill, and I used the ribbon on the flowers just to tie the finished flowers onto these skewers. So now I have some stems, and now I could take my flowers and I could put them in a vase or stick them into a flower pot or something like that and make a bouquet. So again, if you don't have these barbecue skewers, you could use straws, you could use pencils, whatever you like. And it's very simple. Just take these strings at the back of your flower and just tie it onto the stick, whatever kind of stick you have. Just tie it on there and then you'll have a stem on the flower. All right, get creative. Get that tissue paper out and see what you can come up with to make these beautiful, bright Fiesta flowers for Cinco de Mayo or for your mom for Mother's Day. Have fun creating. Bye.